Hi, my name is Jasmine Tisar Jensen binti Muhammad Kevin Jensen, and I'm a student of MSU Management and Science University Shah Alam. So today, me and my groupmates will be explaining about hematology and also laboratory organizations throughout this whole video. So I'll start with the introduction. Okay, so what is hematology? Hematology is basically a study of normal and pathologic aspects of blood and blood elements. As we all know, blood is a very unique type of fluid composed to many cellular elements. Therefore, they are also liquid portion which consists of protein, carbohydrates, lipids, and amino acids as well as the low molecular weight precursors. So what about the laboratory organizations? Okay, so the laboratory organizations involve physical establishment and its operation. The areas of the laboratory may physically overlap for a small facility. Well, perhaps it actually depends on the operation, especially some sections, such as tissue culture.
Hello everybody, my name is Ashwin Devi Panisava. I'm taking Diploma in Medical Laboratory Technology in MSU, and now I'm going to talk about some random fun facts about our blood cells. The first, not every animal has red blood. Some animals, such as spider, lobster, and snails, have blue blood due to the presence of the protein hemocyclin, which contains copper. Secondly, I'm pretty sure not many of you knew about this, but our blood contains around zero point 0.2 milligrams of gold. Pretty interesting, right? Thirdly, the first person to describe the human circulatory system in detail was William Harley. He did it in 1628. It was basically 394 years ago. Fourthly, red blood cells have no nucleus and can easily change shape, helping them to fit through various blood vessels in our body, whether the vessel is smaller or bigger. Last but not least, the amount of blood in a pregnant woman's body will have increased by 50% by the 20th week of pregnancy. That's a pretty huge amount of blood produced in a short amount of time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Emilia, and I will be explaining about the terminologies in hematology. Artery refers to a disease that begins suddenly and progresses quickly. Anemia is a blood condition which a person does not have enough red blood cells or they do not function properly. Anticoagulant is a drug that prevents blood clot from forming. Artery is a muscular vessel that carries oxygen and nutrient from heart to the whole body. Moving on. Basophil is a type of normal white blood cell that may increase with allergic reactions. Blood is a specialized fluid in our body that has many functions, including carrying oxygen to the whole body. Blood smear is the glass slide on which doctors observe under the microscope to determine the disease. Bone marrow is the soft spongy tissue inside of bones where blood cells are produced. Capillaries is the body's smallest blood vessel which connects arteries to veins, and chronic refers to a slow progressing disease. Circulatory system is the heart and network of blood vessels responsible for transportation of blood. Other than that, clot is a clump of platelets and blood proteins that form a plug at the side of an injured blood vessel to prevent excessive bleeding. Coagulation is the process which blood clots. Eosinophils is a type of white blood cells that mediates allergic reaction and defends body from infection. Erythrocyte is also called red blood cells. Its primary role is to carry protein hemoglobin that transports oxygen from lungs to the whole body. Erythropoietin is a hormone produced primarily by kidneys to control production of blood in the body. There are more terminologies such as granulocyte, which is a type of white blood cell that includes neutrophils, basophils, and eosinophils. Hematocrit is the percentage of the whole blood volume that is made up of red blood cells. And hematology is the scientific study for blood and blood-forming tissues.
So hi again, I'll be continuing from Emilia's part. Leukemia is a type of cancer found in the blood and bone marrow that is caused by the production of abnormal white blood cells. Leukocyte is a type of cell also known as white blood cells, or we can call it WBC in short form. Okay, they are responsible for protecting our body from infection. As you guys know, we have 5 types of white blood cells, which is monocyte, lymphocyte, neutrophil, basophil, and eosinophil. So each of these white blood cells has their own special properties and also functions. Okay, lymph node is a small organ throughout the body that plays a role in our immune system. Lymphocyte is a white blood cell, a type of white blood cell that plays a role in the immune system. So there are two main populations of these cells, which is T lymphocytes and also B lymphocytes. They have different functions. So T lymphocytes helps regulate the function of other immune cells and directly attack infected cells and tumors, while B lymphocytes makes antibodies. Monocyte is also the same, the white blood cells, but they engage bacteria and foreign particles. Myelogenous refers to a disease of the blood-forming cells in the bone marrow. Peripheral blood is they circulate through the body's blood vessels and also our heart. Function of neutrophil. They are the most common type of white blood cells which helps the body to fight infections. Neutropenia is a low number of granulocytes, which known as white blood cells that fight infections. Okay, platelet is a small cell fragment also known as a thrombocyte, which involved in the blood clotting process. Platelet count is a part of complete blood count, a blood test that is used to evaluate bleeding and also clotting disorders. Everybody knows red blood cells is the most common cells. It carries the protein hemoglobin, which transports oxygen from the lungs to the rest of the body. Red blood cells are also known as erythrocytes or RBC. Plasma is the liquid component of blood that transports blood cells throughout the body along with nutrients, waste products, antibodies, proteins, and chemical messengers such as hormones. Plasma cells is a type of white blood cell that produce disease and infection-fighting antibodies. Vein is a vessel that carries blood low in oxygen away from the body's organs and back to the heart. White blood cell is a type of blood cell also known as leukocyte that is primarily responsible for protecting the body from infection. Alright, so that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, this is Alif Hamis bin Hamzah, and I'm going to have a presentation on the hematology subject of the composition of blood and its functions. So, blood in itself is its function is to transport one is to exchange gases, meaning that it will take oxygen from the lungs and go towards the body and take carbon dioxide from the body towards the lungs to be expelled, and also to transport nutrients around the body so that the body tissues can actually absorb the nutrients and forming blood clots, so that when they have an injury, the circulatory system can actually repair itself, so to prevent any more blood loss, and also to transport waste products to the kidneys and liver to be filtered and also to become waste such as urine or feces. The of blood is mainly 4 components, so which is the blood plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and also the platelets. The function of the blood plasma is to prevent infection, which is is mostly like a medium, so meaning that is to transport the white blood cells towards the infected site, helps the body recover from injury, also as a medium transporting the blood platelets to the injuries to the injured section, and it's also to distribute nutrients. Like I said, it's a medium to actually distribute nutrients to the body tissues and also to remove waste, meaning that moving waste towards the kidney and the liver to be filtered to be urine. The red blood cells in blood, the second component, is mainly for transporting gases, waste, like for example like from the lungs they will transport the oxygen towards the body tissues, and the CO2 from the body towards the lungs will be expelled. And also the red blood cell is mainly just a vehicle for gas exchange. White blood cells is for the immune system. The immune system, which is to fight body infections and to fight other diseases. And the last component, which is the platelets, which has the lowest percentage in the blood volume, if we to put in a centrifuge, is mainly to prevent and stop bleeding.
Hey, it's me again, and now I'm gonna talk about hematopoiesis process. It is a process by which blood cells are created. Hematopoiesis is the production of all the cellular components in our blood and blood plasma. Hematopoiesis process happens in bone marrow for adults and in bone marrow, liver, and spleen as well for child and infant. The bone marrow produces cells that are known as hematopoietic stem cells (HSC), and these cells are not fully developed in the beginning. However, these immature cells will soon divide and mature into blood components such as red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelet.
My name is Zikri and I will describe the quality assurance, quality control, and standard operation procedure. Quality assurance in hematology laboratory is intended to ensure the reliability of the lab test. The purpose of QA is to determine whether the results from the laboratory are correct or not. There are two types of quality control in hematology lab, which are internal quality control, or ICQ, and external quality control, or ECQ. For ICQ is based on monitoring the hematology test procedure that are performed in the lab. For ECQ is to evaluate a laboratory testing results by comparing them to those of similar laboratories. Finally would be the standard operation in hematology laboratory. This procedure is for blood collection for hematological analysis.